calling in from, city, state, and if you're related to a brokerage or your agency, go ahead and pop that in here. And if you have any questions, you can throw questions on the chat or the Q&A, and I'll try and get to our panelists here and to respond. Well, I want to welcome everybody. This is episode 103 of Propy's weekly webinar, where we bring you the latest in technology trends and information within the real estate. Today, we have a fabulous set of panelists. We have Andrew Daniels with Remax Alliance in Tampa. He is one of the co-listing agents on the upcoming NFT real home sale in Tampa that's coming up on Propy's live bidding platform, April 12th. So for those of you that question, hey, are agents involved in Propy's NFT sale? Well, yes, you have an opportunity to meet one right here. Also, we have Adam Brown, Propy's Vice President of Sales and Business Development, who will answer the overview of what is the Propy's NFT marketplace, as well as what is the process. And more importantly, if you're an agent with questions on how that process works, it's Adam at propy.com. So let's go in and talk a little bit. Adam, give us a little bit of background on yourself and your agency, and then we'll kind of dive into it and get going.
Nobody wants to hear about me, Joe. They see me all the time. We're here to talk about this NFT that we are really, really excited about. I'm sorry I'm taking this call from a hotel room, but I'm not trying to be creepy with a bed in the background. But I'm up in Aspen, Colorado, which I'd never been to before, which was a lot colder than I expected it to be, talking with a large brokerage about Web3 technology. Super exciting. So very, very, very good. But I'm excited about today's topic, Joe. We've got Andrew to talk about our latest and upcoming NFT, which when it feels like whenever we talk to large groups of realtors, that's what everybody always talk about, the NFT process of a home. And so, just to put a little perspective on it for those who may be new to the process, here at Propy.com, we've NFT'd a couple homes, but we focus on kind of evolving the home sale transaction, making it smoother, making it more transparent. The thing I love about the NFT process, when we go live on the marketplace on April 12th, that house will be sold at the end of business on April 12th, and that new homeowner can move in on April 13th. So the ability to kind of put in an offer, look at the house up front, look at all the relevant information that go with the house, the inspection report, the appraisal, all the relevant docs, all the title and escrow paperwork that proves that house is owned free and clear, no debt encumbrance. From a buyer's perspective, that's pretty interesting to be able to put an offer in on a house, all the data is there, make a transparent offer, and then close on it the same day. I'm super excited about it. I'm also really excited to hear how the open house that Andrew hosted for us. I'd love to hear more about that.
So Andrew, let's switch over to Andrew. Andrew, tell us a little bit about yourself and what was your blockchain crypto background? And I see, lean in, is that a Propy crypto certified agent badge on you, lapel?
Of course it is. Yeah. I got, I met you guys down there at Miami for the Propy Summit a few weeks ago, and that's where I got my T-shirt, my pin, and met some of you guys. I've been in real estate for 7 years. I've always dabbled in crypto for the past 7, 8, 9 years. Really took a liking to it during COVID. Found Propy, educated myself on the Propy token, and then found out that you guys have a platform for NFT real estate. Got my certification July 2nd, and pretty much jumped in, and started to try to utilize this technology in my everyday business. The open house went great. We had just over 15, 16 sets of different sets of buyers. 3 of them are serious, going through the KYC wallet download, understanding how to make the offer. So I'm kind of holding their hand, getting everything set up. Overall, we had people who were from out of state with their kids there, FaceTiming. We had people who live nearby, and lots of people came by, lots of questions. a lot of explaining to some of the people who don't understand the process. But at the end of the day, they, I made it pretty simple for them to understand. We're not selling real estate in a different way. It's the same way, just in a better, more transparent way of doing business.
All right.
Yeah.
And Andrew, I understand you also put the property up on MLS, right?
Personally, no. Well, right now, yeah, the property.
And maybe Adam, you can kind of go through the process, because there's a point in time before one, how does it relate to what an agent does traditionally? And two, what would an agent do to get their buyer prepared to go through the process? Because I know the KYC and process, I think from before you said, is literally minutes. So it's not really a time consuming portion, but they do need to have some education on how that process works, because it's going to be new. Can you kind of elaborate more?
Yeah. For those who are listening though, Andrew, and they wanted to look at the house on Zillow, Trulia, any of the aggregate sites, what is the address? And you did put it live on the sites, correct?
Yeah, the address is 1000 West Rocio Street, Tampa, Florida. It's a condo down in Hyde Park, walking distance to the University of Tampa, Tampa General Hospital, Amalie Arena, Bayshore Boulevard. A lot's happening down there in downtown Tampa. So Hyde Park's a very nice area.
Yeah, it's an affordable listing. It's great for someone wanting to move in there. It's also really good for investment, which has been used that way in the past. We've had over 50 people, Joe, to your question. We've had over 50 people register for the CYK, KFC, AML, MLA. I always get that wrong. But we've had over 50 eligible buyers who may want to put in an offer on the house, go through that process. It takes between 2 and 3 minutes. It's basically just as simple as who you are, upload a picture of your license to make sure that you're compliant. And that's one of the things that people don't understand about the NFT process. It's not about just minting something or minting the rights to an entity that owns the house and then putting it up on a platform. There's a lot more to it. You have to have a platform that really sustains it. You have to have the smart contract written in a way that when wallet is transferred, the funds are transferred, all of the mitigating things that come with that house are transferred as well. And then you also have to have CYK, AML, which is, know your client, know your customer, and also anti-money laundering for all prospective buyers have to be accomplished. And so a lot of people think it's easy as just having a lawyer put the house into an NFT. It's really a lot more than that. But I'm excited about this property because I think a lot of people lean into what is the right NFT home. I think a lot of people think it's these luxury condos. I think some people lean towards, is it just something that's maybe for investors? And if you look at our last NFT, it's a traditional home buyer who happened to have a large amount of crypto, who wanted to buy that specific house, and her and her family are moving into that house. It was pretty simple. It was just a normal traditional buyer, not even someone who has a deep crypto background. And so I think with stablecoin and the ability to move fiat or cash into a stablecoin and be able to buy these houses and NFTs and not to have to put your fiat at that risk of volatility that you might have with a traditional Ethereum or a Bitcoin, I think that's going to appeal to a lot of buyers. And Andrew, from the seller's perspective, what excites me the most is you guys did all this work. You and Taylor, the listing agent, you did all this work to get the house ready. You did the title inspection. You did the appraisal. You did the 3D Matterport tour. And the interesting thing for you is when that house goes on sale as a listing agent on the 12th, you're done on the 12th. Like that's when you get theoretically the commissions are split up, that you're done. Typically in a normal transaction, if you go live on the 12th, you still have another 30, 45, 50 days to go to be able to kind of handhold that deal through, right?
Yeah, if we're lucky, it closes in 30 to 45 days.
All right, so let's talk about that. I mean, if I'm an agent, yes, I'm going to contact Propy at info@propy.com if I have a property, because that also means as an agent, you're getting paid 30 to 45 days sooner. And you're moving on to your next listing or your next buy-side customer, right? And Adam, I'm going to come back to some of the benefits of going through an NFT. What does DeFi mean? There's a nice Wall Street Journal article I think you've seen that even talks about a couple mortgage companies, lenders giving more crypto-backed mortgages. But Andrew, what are some of the questions that during your open house prospective agents and or buyers had related to the process? What are you hearing?
Well, they're asking us why we're doing it this way. They wanted to know why they. Yeah, they wanted to know why are they having to do it, do the offer this way as opposed to the traditional route. And I tried to explain to them that the way you go about the experience now is you make an offer just because you like the property. You don't know the condition necessarily. You don't know the value. You don't know clear title. So I just told them that we're trying to be more transparent. We're also trying to bring in a new wave of technology that isn't seen in real estate, where we can supply all of the information up front and be able to transact in a much quicker way. And that's obviously by showing the buyer the clear title, showing the buyer the appraisal report, showing the buyer the inspection report, and letting the buyer make their offer knowing the condition, value, and clear title up front.
So it's safe to say in the NFT marketplace approach, the consumer has complete transparency and knows exactly what they're making an offer on.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, they know the condition, they know the value, they know that they're going to get a property that's free and clear title. Yeah, and that's a little different than how the transaction is done right now, where they're just making an offer, hope the inspection comes back okay, they hope the appraisal comes back okay, and they hope that the seller actually owns the property and is able to sell it. And
that means if their buyer agent actually can answer questions, then saying put an offer in and then we'll see. Right. Yeah. So Adam, you mentioned very quickly that the next one is going on USDC. So why don't you go ahead and explain a little bit what is a stable coin and why stablecoin is not as volatile as putting an offer in on Ether or Bitcoin?
Yeah, I really love stablecoin. It's probably the most boring of all cryptocurrencies, but it's the one I'm most excited about, which probably says a lot about my personality. So USDC, it's USDC or USTC. The first one I think was backed by Tether, which is a cryptocurrency company. But basically they said, hey, we're going to create a cryptocurrency that it's pegged or its volatility is exactly the same as the US dollar. So if you put your money into this cryptocurrency, the only way it goes up and down is if the US dollar has any volatility to it, which as we know is pretty simple, pretty stable, pretty stable. So if you put in, let's say we're buying a $500,000 house and you had to put your money into your MetaMask wallet to be able to purchase the house in the marketplace, when you put that into the MetaMask wallet as a stable coin, that $500,000 stays really, really, really close to $500,000. You're looking at less than, 1 or 2 basis points at the most, less than a very, very, very small amount of volatility. Where if you're looking at, a typical day for Bitcoin or Ethereum, you might have, 7-8 percentage points difference. You might have 900 to 950 basis points difference. And sometimes it's good. A lot of times it goes up or down. But when you're dealing with that kind of money in a really stable transaction of buying a home, the stable coin allows that buyer and that seller to get funded in a currency that they feel really comfortable with. And, listen, I love cryptocurrency, but I like getting paid in US dollars because my bills are in US dollars. And, my daughter's college tuition, I might need those dollars to pay it. I can't take the volatility that may come in crypto. And so I think it's an interesting way to look at, taking the volatility of crypto and making it something people can swallow a little easier. I think it makes a lot of sense. There's a funny Yogi Berra saying, cash, it's a lot like money. It feels a little bit like, USDC, USTC. It's a lot like money to me. It's going to be the way for all real estate transactions to go to be handled upon. I think eventually the U.S. government may come out with their own version of a stable coin that's backed the U.S. dollar. I don't know if it'll be better or worse. But I think that's going to be kind of, instead of transferring funds, which have tremendous volatility and risk with theft and issues, which you know better than anybody, Andrew, as a realtor. I think wall-to-wall stablecoin just makes a tremendous amount of sense. And I think as we look at the real estate transaction, try to make it less and less custodial and more transparent, more peer-to-peer, I think that's going to be a big part of it.
And for all you watching, if the term stablecoin, ETH, Bitcoin, NFT are new to you, and you're a real estate professional, Propy does offer a crypto certified agent course, hence the pin on Andrew. And it's a course designed to give agents more information and background on what is cryptocurrency, what are the different blockchains, what is an NFT, what's a DAO, what are we talking about in the metaverse, as there's a new bonus section added. You can visit propy.com for more information under products. Click on Crypto Certified Agent course. And because you're a fan of Propy's weekly webinar, if you type in the promotion code Joe20, all caps, all one word, Joe20, you can get your 20% discount. So that takes the $497 down 20%. It was like $397 or so. And you're good to go. And you can join the other thousands of agents out there that are crypto certified agents, and join the community to continue your growth and learning within the crypto. So Andrew, let's go back to the prep house. There's a question. Transactions done. Yes, agent gets paid 30 days quicker, but the seller, what is a seller? A seller in a situation like this, they actually know when they can have that Vikings moving truck show up because their closing date's not getting shifted. All right, let's talk a little bit about the consumer experience, and then we'll come back to Adam, some of the benefits of having an NFT, and what does that mean? So Andrew, where do you foresee the benefits in the consumer, both the buyer side and sell side? And I have one, because if the sale's done between open house and the bidding, I got to move my stuff out, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the benefits, the transaction takes place essentially, within, the same day of the property, being available for offers, and then the seller accepting the offer. So, it allows you to, prepare for moving easily. When the property is going to be sold. So when you look at it from that type of the way the transaction is being handled, when it's going to be done, and then how to prepare, where you're going, where to move things. And then, from the buyer standpoint, they don't have to worry about that 30 to 45 days of, am I going to close? Do I need to make sure I don't use my credit cards? They don't have to worry about, ruining their chances of getting a mortgage throughout the whole process.
All right, and Adam, some of the benefits why a buyer would, want to do the NFT. What does it mean? What does DeFi lending mean?
Yeah, I think it's still really early. We're still in the infancy of putting houses as real NFTs, and we have a lot of people who watch us and criticize us, but we're doing it, and no one else is doing it in the history of real estate. So the reason I get excited about the NFT process is that I think if you look at the decentralized lending side of the business, it's really evolving super quickly. There's a couple big announcements today that I know that you and I were texting about, Joe. So a couple traditional companies getting into the mortgage space, the DeFi lending space. And so, I think the days of me owning a home and having to wait 45 to 60 days to refinance it or even pull a little bit of equity out of it when it's my home that I own and I have tremendous amount of equity, it just feels archaic to me, especially in a world where we really reduce friction continually. It feels very, very heavily custodial, frictionalized. And so I'm really excited about it. If you buy the house as an NFT and keep it within that NFT, you'll be able to go to a DeFi lender. And I've seen DeFi lenders now that are paying 80% LTV refi on the spot by using your NFT as a collateral in terms of real estate. which is pretty exciting. Scary for some people who aren't good with their money, but it's exciting for the rest of us who want to be able to leverage our biggest asset to be able to make home improvements, pay off revolving debt, whatever it might be. It's not for us to tell you how to use your liquidity in your real estate. But that part of it's really exciting. The DeFi lending aspect or non-custodial lending is very, very bullish. I mean, these guys are and gals, but these companies are, I think, the smartest in the room. And when we in real estate, tend to be a little overly traditional. Even when I talk about the NFT process to hundreds of realtors, they kind of want to boil it down to here in our county, Betty Sue at the county clerkhouse. We don't really look at the macro view of it, and I think it could be really, really exciting. So I'm pumped about it. I'm bullish about it. Listen, I don't think every home should be sold as an NFT. I think there are certain reasons some things are better for Web 2 than Web 3 in life. But I think a lot of homes and a lot of homeowners will be very pleased once they use that process. But from a buyer's perspective, for me to look at everything on that condo on April 12th, walk through it, look at the inspection, look at the neighborhood, talk to the agent, be able to put an offer in that I feel comfortable with and take acquisitions same day in real time with 100% transparency and clarity, that's pretty interesting. And especially, if I can get a $300,000 McLaren delivered to my door, I shouldn't have to wait 45 days or 60 days to close on a $200,000 condo. Like these are archaic rules by by self-justification of people within the platform. Like I don't think the average real estate transaction has 14 parties that touch it. We're overthinking something that should be really fun and really exciting. And I think this NFT process will bring a lot of excitement back to the buy side again.
All right. And if you guys are interested to learn more about the Tampa condo near Hyde Park, visit propy.com. On the homepage, scroll down and hit the learn more, and you'll get the address and more information. You can certainly reach out to adam@propy.com. And you go ahead and put your contact info in the chat window, and folks can grab it from there if they want to reach out to one of the co-listing agents for more additional information. And for our live attendees here, and if you're not a live attendee, if you go to propy.com under resources and webinar, you can sign up to receive notifications of upcoming webinars, become a live attendee. I'll get your questions, and we're going to get to some of those questions here shortly. But also after today's episode, if any of the live attendees wanted to stay on, Gwyneth Iredale, Propy Senior Customer Success Manager, will give you a quick overview of what the Propy platform is. Now, Propy is a closing platform. We have a transaction platform built on blockchain, as well as offer management. She can also help navigate where to find more information on the Crypto Certified Agent course, so you can use the Joe20 promotional code. And for Tia, Tia, thank you very much for taking the test. I hope you passed. I know you paid full price, but if you reach out to joe@propy.com, we'll set up. And if you subscribe, thank you for passing. I do want to learn more a little bit about you and what you're doing. And if you subscribe to our platform, I'll make some of that up for you there. We'll take care of you, Tia. Just reach out to me. We'll get you going. There was a question from Ian Savage in Honduras, who has building out a ocean view estates on 22 acres. Ian, unfortunately, we are focused right now in the early stages of the NFT marketplace and are doing US-based properties, and even select at that. We have thousands of requests, and keep the requests coming. We'll be scaling out here in the coming months. But right now it is specific types of properties. Looking through some of the other questions on here is, yes, there was a question that Adam or Andrew, the question is, I read where it's 185,000 USDC. Is that just the starting point? And what happens if what happens if there's no bidders?
No bidders. What kind of real estate market are they living in? First off, it's not an auction. It's a live marketplace. And so offers will be submitted. And then if it's a multiple offer situation, the listing agent will be working with prospective buyers in that situation, which between you and I and all the people watching this, I think every listing right now is a live market situation because of multiple offers. The thing I like about this process is it's fully transparent. So if someone doesn't see that their bid was accepted, they can instantly see that their offer wasn't accepted. They can instantly see which offer was accepted and for how much. There's a lot of ambiguity. Am I saying that right, Joe? Ambiguity. There's a lot of gray area around offers today in real estate, and it's causing a lot of home buyers frustration. Andrew, you know this better than I do, but from a brokerage perspective, you know, I do have concerns as it relates to fair housing, as it relates to are all offers presented to sellers, as it relates to why wasn't my offer accepted, and therefore I may look at litigation. I do think this process sheds blinding transparency to it, which I'm excited about. All live offers will be submitted, and then the final offer that's accepted will be announced right there on chain same day. So if I submitted an offer, my offer wasn't good enough for the offer accepted, they'll know why. So I think that transparency is really interesting. But if in a crazy world, I mean, we have over, I think I mentioned this earlier, or maybe I thought we have over 50 people who've already registered to make offers on the house once it goes live on the marketplace. So from that perspective, and on top of that, I think the house is priced really, really aggressively. Andrew, you can speak to that more than I can. You're an expert. Nobody knows more than you do about it down there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, from a price, I brought comparables to the open house. I mean, the price is listed at 185, and there's comparables between 180 and 190 all day. You can see, you know, if you were to look at it, and that is if you're planning on occupying it, you know, you want to get the best value. You can see that it's a great value. And then from an investment standpoint, you can look it up, and there's previous rental agreements for $1,500, $1,700, $1,800 a month, where people are renting the same size unit for that price. And I even had some people come into the open house who are saying they're paying well over that to rent a unit of that size. So yeah.
So again, what are the rentals in that area?
So this property, the 1000 Horatio Street, it's a 1 bed, 1 bath, just over 600 square feet. Okay. And already leased units are renting three within the past 4 months have rented between $1,500 and $1,800 a month. And somebody who came into the open house said they're paying well over $1,800 a month for the same size unit.
Well, I can buy a home in California, 1.5 million, and get my 3,500 or 4,000. So do the math, and that's pretty good value. Okay, so there are 2 questions I want to get to. First one goes to you, Adam, from Bobby. Are buyers purchasing? Oh, Bobby, just keep asking. Put another one in before I get to your first one. Are they purchasing a corporation which owns the property and the NFT? What does the buyer actually buy, and how does that relate between LLC and the asset itself?
Yeah, I will answer that, but kudos to you, Andrew, for having all that rental information. That's a good real estate professional right there, being able to justify comps and value and having that data on leases. That's pretty good, bud.
Yeah.
Well done. So the NFT is a transfer of ownership rights, in this case of an LLC, which owns 1000 Horatio Street, which is fairly common in Florida. So you are NFTing the right of ownership of an LLC that owns that house. And within that NFT, there's paperwork that says that the LLC has no legal encumbrance, that the LLC is owned free and clear, that the tax is prorated, I think is believed, pro rata have been paid, and that in the smart contract it assumes that the new owner of the LLC will then be liable or paying taxes moving forward. And people often say, hey, why put it in an LLC? It's just because it'll transfer ownership in real time. homeowners are ready for it, title and escrow is ready for it, lenders are ready for it, but the municipalities are still antiquated is probably the nicest word to say. I got in trouble last week, Joe. I was on stage making fun of a certain part of the real estate transaction. A lady came up and told me she'd been working for the county clerk's office for 10 years. That wasn't, you learn the hard way sometimes. But listen, I mean, I think municipalities will evolve. I think if you look at the transparency and the ability to have things on chain in real time, it's really interesting to me. But listen, the government is challenged. I mean, we kind of, everybody who looks at the SEC, we all use kind of the Howey test or the Howey rule. And we use that to figure out if cryptocurrencies should be treated as investment vehicles or just standard, currency. And the Howey test or the Howey rule, however you want to call it's from an Orange Grove from 1953, like 1959, whatever the date is. So, the municipalities and the government are evolving to the best they can. And there will be a day relatively soon where the county clerk won't need paperwork and signatures, but there'll be a specific chain that they work off of that they'll actually come into work every day, look at the chain, see what property's been transferred. Maybe they put it back into their own custodial data warehouse, or maybe they just leave it on chain for everyone to see. It's ironic is that we send files over of closings to the county recorder, then they put that on the tax records, which then becomes public information, which then everyone in the world shares again, which feels like two funnels coming together. All this volume comes down to one choke point, then it goes back out again. So anybody can see that that's a little bit archaic. But listen, we are in a world where, there's a lot of custodians of data, and we're getting into a world where our generation and the generation behind us is looking at, hey, we don't need custodians for data. Nothing makes a room full of custodians more nervous than not needing custodians. And so, I'm excited about that. And I think most realtors we work with get it, and they want what's best for the homeowner. And I think the municipalities will evolve. So that was a long answer to a simple question.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of the old, buy a house via NFT and save a tree, because when the whole paper, reducing paper from the workforce was going on, the scanning companies, printing companies did a survey, and they realized over 70%, maybe even up to 80% of scanned documents that people sign are emailed, then printed, then scanned, and then emailed again. Okay, that's just the people-made issue.
Yeah.
Right. And we have to use technology to improve the process, which then speeds everything up. Bobby had another question about, and I'm gonna paraphrase Bobby's question a little bit differently. But Adam confirmed that there's a Propy token, which is a utility token used within the Propy platform, and then there's the USDC that's being used within the marketplace, and that is a coin, that is a cryptocurrency, that is a security token. Just to give the rest of you a little bit more crypto knowledge. There is a question on gas fees and some of the expenses associated with the NFT approach, and who pays what.
Yeah. So good question. So, a lot of people misunderstand what tokens and cryptocurrency are. There is a difference. So the Propy token, which we're very proud of, we're the only real estate company that has its own token, utility token that's, I think it's like 180,000. I don't know what the market cap is. I think it's got $180 million market cap. We're traded on Coinbase, 100% above board. Very proud of it. I actually, the smartest guy in the room yesterday, I was talking on stage, came off stage. He said, man, if I were you, I would have been bragging about that Propy token the whole time. And I said, we really don't talk about it that much, just not to confuse, agents. But we are proud of it. And he goes, man, the work that you guys did to get that, approved on Coinbase is nothing short of monumental. And I think, Joe, you and I sometimes probably don't brag about that enough, because it is a really big accomplishment that we just kind of say, it's par for the course for us. We do a lot of really interesting things. So the Propy token is used to pay internal fees to use the platform. So no different than if you put a node of information or a blockchain on Ethereum, you pay for the gas fee with Ethereum coins. It's the same thing with us. You have I think you have three different coins in our offer place, our marketplace for offers. You have the USTC or USDC for wallet to wallet. You have the Propy utility token to pay for some of the gas fees or the heavy lifting on our end. And then you have an Ethereum gas fee to put the listing and closing on chain on the Ethereum network. We love the Ethereum network. We're blockchain agnostic, but if you look at the volume of nodes that actually make sure the data is good, if you look at all the developers and talent on Ethereum, we think it's the right fit for now. But we are blockchain agnostic. But for now, we do use Ethereum to put it on chain. And I really think there'll be a time when there won't be just one chain. Each transaction will have duality or even three different chains that it might go on. And you search for different data with different amounts of public facing information within each chain. So you might have some private chains that are maybe a little more custodial, that have more sensitive information. There's levels of that. So that part of it's really interesting to me. It's a little nerdy for most people, but I think it's pretty interesting. So that's why we use three different coins or cryptocurrencies in the transaction.
And again, I'm reminding everybody, we're just talking digital currency, and this is the precursor to where Web3 comes. Join us for future webinars where Adam Brown will be back to talk about what is Web3. Where are we going? And I'll give you my input on, my virtual Lightspeed car with my agent doing a Google virtual tour of a neighborhood, checking out all the Starbucks and batting cages. That's just how I roll. Also, how long it'll take me to get to the nearest beach break. Andrew, let's end it up here. We're running out, and I want to give everybody an opportunity to see the demo of the Propy platform from Gwyneth Iredale, Propy Senior Customer Success Manager. Andrew, real quick, why'd you take what did the Crypto Certified Agent course do for your blockchain knowledge? And after everything Adam just said and the questions that are involved, I'm glad we have a Crypto Certified Agent involved with this.
Yeah, so I mean, I think a lot of people invest in cryptocurrencies, and a lot of people don't know what the use cases for those currencies are. They just they just purchase them and then hope they go up. It's where we all start. And once you understand the utility behind the coin, being in real estate for 7 years and knowing about cryptocurrency and finding the Propy token, I educated myself on exactly what the real estate coin does and what the Propy platform does, and I realized I can merge these two things together and really create a nice niche for me here in the Tampa market, using the Propy platform and selling real estate like I always have been.
Great, great. And Sean, I'm answering your question on your chat window here. And this webinar is broadcasted over LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. If you want to come back and watch us again, just like it, follow Propy Inc. On our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can reach out to my Instagram. I always need more followers. It's Jay Badelli is my Instagram. Joe Badelli is my Twitter. I want to introduce Gwyneth Iredale, Senior Customer Success Manager for Propy. For those in live attendees, she'll stay on and show you the website where you can get more information on Crypto Certified Agent, as well as the upcoming NFT sale and a quick overview of the Propy platform. Thank you all very much. Special thanks to our panelist, Adam Brown, Vice President of Sales and Business Development for Propy, and Andrew Daniels, one of the co-listing agents on the next Tampa condo NFT home sale. Andrew is with Remax Alliance in the greater Tampa and western part of Florida there. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next week with the day after, because next week's, folks, is the day after the historic second NFT sale in the United States. Thank you very much and have